What's going on, man? It's your big brother Trend. You tuned into the right video at the right time. You watching this video because you already know something about this topic, okay? I don't expect everybody to comprehend or be able to fathom what I'm about to say in this video. As a matter of fact, I hope this video stays up, okay? I don't think it'll get deleted, but anyway, I want to tell y'all this because a lot of people out there don't really know this. A lot of people are completely asleep to this. A lot of people will think that you crazy if you go talk about this and you hanging around people. They'll be like, be quiet, shut up, come back down to earth. But if you have wisdom, if you do your research, you will find out that everything that I'm about to tell you in this video, a lot of people already have figured this out, okay? So you can call me a conspiracy theorist. You can call me Big Brother Trend, whatever. Listen to what I'm about to tell you in this video, and I'm going to make it make sense, okay? Don't forget to subscribe to me if what I tell you makes perfect sense, because I know I'm about to tell you some truthful stuff that makes perfect sense, all right? Last but not least, don't forget to subscribe at the very bottom after this video and turn on the bell notification so you can be notified every time I upload a video so you can receive it first. Just click that bell beside the subscribe button. If you ain't got that bell on, you probably been missing a lot of my videos. Click that bell, hit subscribe, and leave a comment. Anyway, so this is what I want to tell y'all. Haven't you wondered, like when you go outside and you walk on Earth and you look at the sky, haven't it always made you think, like, what is really up there, okay? Because you really, technically, you don't really know what's up there. You don't, okay? Normal people, we don't really know or even have a chance in our whole lifetime to even know what is really up there. The only thing we got to go by to tell us what is up there is a book, TV, movies, media, news. That's all we got to really go by that tells us what is up there, and we never really get to see it with our own two eyes to be proof that what they say is really up there or what a book say is really up there is actually in fact up there, okay? So technically that means if you never seen it with your own two eyes, if you never been to outer space, you can't necessarily say that the stars and the moon and all that stuff is really what they say it is. You can't necessarily say that. Why? Because you get all your information from sources, other sources outside yourself, outside your own wisdom, and you read it from a book where somebody else has wrote it, and they told you what to believe that's out there. Well, let me open up your mind a little bit. Let me expand your consciousness a little bit. Have you ever thought about this? Have you ever thought about this? Listen, when you look at the night sky at night and you see the stars, right? They really tiny, right? But haven't you noticed that little change of color of the stars where they be like red, they be flashing red, blue, green, like RGB lights, and they just be flashing. Each and every one of them be flashing, right? And they are stationary, meaning they stay there. They stay there, okay? There is no such thing as shooting stars. Because if that was the case, why come the constellations of stars don't never shoot? Why come the constellations like the Big Dipper, the Little Dipper, why come these stars that's stationary and they supposed to be stars and stars do shoot? Why come they ain't never shot and changed positions or burned out? Because they don't tell you the truth. Listen. Have you ever seen the moon in the night sky? Now, the moon, when you look at the moon, it is actually bigger, okay, in diameter than any star. Stars look like a dot. The moon looks more like a blot, okay? Same thing with the sun. The sun is like an even bigger blot in the sky, all right? Have you ever asked yourself, if outer space is so far away from our own solar system, right? Or if outer space is so far away from our own Earth's atmosphere, right? The stars, okay, let me come back. Let me explain this correctly. The stars are supposed to be way beyond the Earth's atmosphere, right? And they a little dot, right? The moon is like, when you look at the moon in the night sky, it's almost like you can put on a jetpack and just fly straight to it and be able to touch it. Don't That's how the moon look when you see it in the sky, when it look like a moon pie or a crescent. It looks like if you was to get in a space shuttle, or if you, not a space shuttle, but a spaceship or something, or if you was to get in an airplane and go straight to it, it seemed like it would just be right there. How is it that you can see the moon in the night sky, but you can't see China? How is it that you can see the moon in the night sky, right? And the moon is supposed to be way out there in space, right? But you don't see the satellites that they got so-called above the Earth atmosphere floating around in the atmosphere. Why come you don't see the satellites in the space stations? But you can see the moon, right? You can see these little tiny stars twinkling every night, right? Okay. Well, why come when they get in a spaceship, when NASA shoot their space shuttles missions off up into space, right? If the moon is that close on ground, right? If the moon is that close on ground, here's the moon right here. Here's you right here. You can see the moon, and here's you on the Earth. The space shuttle on Earth, it flies up to the distance from the moon to the Earth. Why isn't that they not on the moon right immediately when they go straight up to the sky, y'all? Think about it. Think about it. Why is it, if that space shuttle go all the way to outer space, to the outermost, deepest edges of the Earth atmosphere, why come they not right on the moon as soon as they get way up there? Now, you can't see the space shuttle when it get at a long, far distance, can you? No. But how is it that you can still see the moon? How is it that you can still see the moon and it's still right there? So you mean to tell me the space shuttle go beyond the moon? Something ain't right. Something ain't right, folks. They not telling the truth about the stuff that's in the night sky. For all I know, these stars in the sky could be the satellites that are keeping the signals on Earth, keeping telecommunications and stuff going. These could be the stars. They are stationary space stations. And it's a lot of them, okay? This is why when you look at like certain satellite maps and stuff like that, you see thousands and thousands of satellites, but why is it that when we look up in the sky, if they got it on the map, when we look up in the sky, we don't see no satellite. We don't see AT&T satellites. We don't see nothing, no Qualcomm satellites or nothing. But we can see the stars, though. Are the stars the satellites that's really pinging our cell phones to connect with somebody in a different world? Maybe. Comment below. That's what I think they are. Because we don't really know what it is. None of y'all watching this video ever been that far in the Earth atmosphere to be able to prove me wrong and say, Trend, I know exactly what those are. None of y'all can't do that. Y'all cannot do that because ain't none of y'all ever been to outer space. Half of y'all ain't even flew on an airplane before. And you know, when you fly on an airplane, the airplane can only go but high, just above the clouds. The airplane don't even go to the outer edges of the atmosphere. There are many different atmospheres. Ozone layer, atmospheres, stratospheres, exospheres. Don't you know I was in this spot, right? I was in this spot and I talked to this white man. He was talking to me first. He was like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? This is a while back. And we got to talking and stuff. And he was like, what do you do? I was like, I just said coach. You know what I'm saying? I just said coach. I ain't telling him what type of coach. He was like, how it's going for you? I was like, everything going good. Business going. I said, what do you do? He was like, I'm an air pilot for Delta. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, man. You like what you do? He like, I love it, man. I've been doing it for like 33 years. I'm like, cool, man. And he was like, you ever fly Delta, or which airline do you fly when you go? I was like, yeah, I fly Delta sometimes, you know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I like Delta. I was thinking about like if he could give me some free flights, you know, I ain't want to be blackish. So I was just like, that's cool. So I started to get educated with him. I was like, so even though I knew the answer to this question, I asked him, I was like, so have you ever been to the exosphere? He was like, what's that? I'm like, dude, you drive airplanes. You don't know the ozone layers. You don't know the layers of the atmosphere of the outer parts of the Earth. He's like, oh yeah, man, you just probably need some oxygen mask to go up there. Okay, my point is proven. Yes. So you mean to tell, but the point I'm making is, the airplane can only go but above the clouds. It can't. If you go higher in the sky, you have to have a certain kind of different type of space travel. At that point, you in space when you go beyond the certain atmospheres to get up to the so-called top of the firmament. Okay, because it's just too cold. It's just too cold. And they don't allow airplanes to go that far. But, you know, I think G5 jets actually have a clearance to fly higher than the actual commercial airliner airplane. Okay, I don't know how that works. I'm not a freaking aviation scholar, but comment below if you know a lot about airplanes and tell people what I'm saying is the truth. Okay, but anyway, my point back to the space shuttle. Why come is it that when you see the space shuttles being launched from Florida or SpaceX, you can't see the space shuttle no more after it gets so far in distance, but you can still see the moon? So the moon is closer. I know what some of y'all gonna say. You're gonna say, well, the moon is actually bigger, Trend. It's actually bigger. Okay. Well, if the moon is in outer space, why come it appears to be like it's right there, like your lamp inside your crib? It's like you can look at the light bulb inside of the lamp at your home. That's how close the moon is to people on Earth. The moon is not in no outer space, y'all. The moon is not in outer space. I don't care what nobody say. It's not no outer space. I think it's all a scam. They create these stories. They've been doing it ever since we was kids. They create these stories and make you think that there's Neptune, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, all these other planets. Now we got exoplanets and stuff. Only thing we get to do when back at home is look on National Geographic, or not National Geographic, but Discovery Channel, and just listen to the stories. Who's to say if it's real or not? It's just like myth. It's like mythology. They tell you something to believe in, and you be like, oh my God, that is so beautiful out of space. We don't know if the Hubble telescope is way out there and going towards and approaching a different galaxy and taking pictures of a God particle eye constellation. We don't know that. But they tell us this stuff and make us think these wishful thinking things about what's out there. There's nothing out there, folks. We are in here. We are in a bubble, okay, called the firmament. It's in the Bible. We are in a firmament, The earth is flat, meaning you're not going around a world when you get on the airplane to travel to Thailand. You're not going around a world. You're just traveling straight. That's all you doing. You not going around nothing. You not hitting no curve, no corners, no nothing. You are going straight in the airplane. When you get on the airplane, you only can go two directions, that way or that way, or that way or that way. You can only go in cardinal directions on the airplane. You ain't never hitting no corners and turning like that and then going down the street and then going up the street and then going. You ain't never doing nothing like that on an airplane, because the earth is flat like that. And we are in a dome, a firmament. Now you might say, Trent, what the heck is a firmament? I give you the closest example. You know those Christmas balls that got the snow in them, the globe ball that got the snow in them, and you shake it up, it got the little castle in there and stuff like that, and the snow fall down on the castle in this little ball. That's kind of like what the firmament is. On top is just nothing. It's glass. It's like whatever's up there that's keeping us in this firmament, it's up there. It's set in stone. The stars is inside this whole globe. The stars is we don't know what those are though, but they inside it with us. The moon and the sun is inside this globe thing with us. It's not way out there out of space. If it ain't no way a sun can be way how like far they say is way out of space, right? And then it shine on us and we can get sunburns and we can feel the heat coming from it and stuff like that. That don't make no sense. That don't make no sense at all, period. That's like saying if your friend is cooking something in the oven at their house, they got the oven so high that you're going to be able to feel it at your house too. Because it's just that hot at her house while she cooking in the oven and she got the oven open. It's no way in hell that makes any sense. That's like saying, like, if there was a fire started at a company, if a fire started at a company down the street, right? What would you see? You would just see smoke. Now, Lord knows how hot fire it is in the neighborhood if it goes off in the company. Everybody would be able to feel those flames of that fire. Why can't we feel the sun in this? Right, because it's right there in the sky, shining that right down on us inside the firmament. And These is hard. The sun and the moon, they rotate all day long, just like this on top of the dome. They just rotate like that, like a pendulum. That's why they got that thing in the school called a protractor. You remember a protractor where you had to put the a compass where you had to put the pencil inside of it and draw a circle? They was showing you right there. That's how the dome is. That's how the dome is. You put the pencil inside the compass or the protractor, and you keep the little needle on the middle of the paper, and you draw around it, and you create a circle. That's the same thing what we live up under. That's why when you look at this, when you see, like when that solar eclipse came, the moon was in front of the sun, right? It came in front of the sun like that, right? And then it went away from the sun like that, right? What did the moon do? Did the moon go back, be around the back of the sun or something like that? Or did it go up and then take a right and then go straight back? No. Only thing they did was came in front of each other, and they just going right back around in a circle, just like the hands on the clock. They just coming right back around each other every time and come around again, and they come right back around each other like that, just like the hands on the clock. If you look at the hands on the clock, when you look at your clock, it's just going around. Think about us being inside that clock. That's what the world is. When you see the stars and the constellation in the sky and the different zodiacs in the sky, the same zodiac is always in the sky. It's just that on another part of the world, inside this whole damn firmament. It's just on another side of the world at that time. And since the sun ain't close to where you can see the actual stars, or it might be cloudy, or it might be precipitation in the sky, something like that, or cumulus clouds, and you can't see everything because air pollution, all kind of stuff that could be keeping you from seeing the constellation. But the constellations ain't doing nothing but turning like the hands, like the dials on the clock in a circle. It is not something that's way out here in the universe that you can't go see. It's right here. That is the firmament. We live in the firmament. As above, so below. And then as below shall be above, right? What is in is what's happening on the outer core, right? Am I right or am I wrong? Isn't that the laws of correspondence? Okay? As above, so below. If you go to the ocean, right? If you go to the North Sea, where the raging rivers are bombarding cargo ships, and they are like thousands and thousands upon 10,000s of feet deep. You feel me? When you go to the sea and you see the water, it's just moving, right? It's raging, it's waving. As above, so below. Why doesn't the water, if there was the reason why the water is stationary in the ocean is because below us in the Earth's core is a gravity pole that keeps the water down. Okay? Just like how if you jump, you coming right back down, because in the center of the Earth, it has the more density, it has gravity that keeps us pulled down. You see what I'm saying? And this is why tectonic plates and stuff like that is in place in the world up under the ground. And sometimes they break, but they don't never continuously break and tear the world apart like the day after tomorrow. They stop because the gravity pulls it back together and keeps it back down. But as above, so below. So the water don't float to the air, okay? But they say like in space, the water will float, right? Okay, listen what I'm saying. Listen, I'm going somewhere. The water here stays stationary in the oceans and the lakes and the rivers and the ponds because the gravity here on Earth keeps it down. So when you're going higher, as above, so below, as below shall be above. When you're going higher up into so-called space at the outer edges of the firmament, now you're going back to a different atmosphere. Okay, when you get out of the Earth atmosphere, you're going into another different atmosphere, and it's going to be backwards versus the same way here on Earth. It's going to be backwards. So when you travel up into the space, when you travel up to the firmament, you're going to go through the ozones, okay? Just like the ozone here. Out here is oxygen, is matter, is oxygen. Okay, same thing up there. It's different types of oxygen, different types of fumes or whatever you want to call it up there that keeps the water that's up there separated from dropping down here. Okay, but in between that water that's above the firmament is some type of, I don't know, something God built. It's a big blockage that blocks the water. Okay, I think it might be some type of form of matter that we don't know about, but it blocks the water that's way beyond the stars that we see here called stars and the moon here from dropping down inside of the ball. Okay, because in the Bible it says water's above the firmaments. Okay, so as above is same thing as below. What we looking at here on earth is the same thing that's up there. There's water way out there. You feel me? And of course they're not gonna say this. I'm a conspiracy theorist. But there's water up there. You know what I mean? It has to be some form of water up there, because how can clouds accumulate and then stay up there and be a cloud and then keep all the water contained in the clouds, and then finally when it gets too filled up and too dense, it falls and the precipitation comes back down. Okay, if the rain is able to stay up there and condensate, then that up there must be water or some type of form of precipitation or some type of liquid form matter that is beginning to happen once you get in the Earth atmosphere. Okay, it starts at the clouds, and then as you go higher and higher and higher, like the man said that drove the Delta airplanes, if you're going into the exosphere, you're gonna need an oxygen mask. Okay, what do you need when you go deep down up underwater? Oxygen. Okay, scuba diving wear. Same thing when you go into the far edges of the outer firmament, but it's just reverse. It's just backwards. Okay, does that make any sense? But like I said, when you're in an airplane, you don't really need no oxygen mask. You don't need no scuba diving stuff on your face. But guess what? If that door opens and all that pressure was to come inside that door and pop that hatch, guess what will be inside of the airplane? Water. Guess what they want you to put on your face to help you breathe? Oxygen. Why? Because you're so high above the Earth atmosphere, and now you're going back up into the firmament, which is water up there, up in the deep. Okay? Just when you're looking at the black night sky, you're not looking at just void and just darkness. If you ask me, you're looking at another form of water. When you go into the very bottom of the abyss of the ocean, if you didn't know what it was and somebody just took you down there and woke you up inside of like this plastic container, if you looked around, you would just see what appeared to be space. You won't even know that it's water until you travel back to the top of the surface to seeing that it was actually blue. So when you look at the night sky, or matter of fact, when you look at the day sky, what do you see? What color do you see? Blue. You see blue. Same thing when you look at an ocean, you see blue. But when the nighttime comes, you see darkness because the light has went away and now you can see for what it really is. Same thing with the ocean. When the light goes away, if you was in the middle of the ocean, you would just see blackness. As above, so below. We live in the firmament, y'all. Hello? Anybody out there? Did anybody hear me? So I don't know. I'm just making this video because I was just watching SpaceX launch. I be sitting around watching the whole launch, like SpaceX, NASA. I be doing stuff like that. I could be sitting in here eating a salad, just watching the space station do all their little stuff. You know what I'm saying? And countdown, 23 minutes. And I'm just looking at everything. I'm interested in stuff like that. So I be wondering, though. I be asking questions. You know what I mean? I ain't going to sit around and believe everything that I see on the television programming thing. You know what I'm saying? But like, I just always wonder, why is it that when the space shuttle goes into the air, it curves? I mean, if you was going to so-called outer space, wouldn't it just go straight? Why, when you look at the space shuttle, it got to go this way? Yeah, it got to curve. Okay, ain't we just going up there? Ain't we supposed to just be going up there just like a firework? The firework goes, well, even the fireworks show you that they have to begin to curve. Fireworks even show you that they have to begin to curve. Because it's the way that the dome is constructed. The energy up there is a twirling energy. It's a twirling energy, and it looks like this. It look like this. It look like that, just like that. And it's twirling. It's always twirling, just like that. It look like that. That's what the dome look like. Okay, and this is why when you see space shuttles and stuff, they gotta go up to equal up with the curvature. Okay, when you fire fireworks off and stuff like that, they gotta go up and they go to the side because we live in this right here. Okay, we live in that. So I don't know. I just thought somebody might be interested in it. But anyway, man, I got a map right here though that I be looking off of. I ain't gonna tell y'all what map it is, but it basically shows you all the different lands that's a part of this whole earth that they don't tell you about. See, I know it's different lands. It's different lands that's beyond the Arctic wall. They don't tell you about that though. I'm sorry, I'm just a conspiracy theorist, y'all. It is different lands, different worlds on this whole earth. But see, they keep us in this part. They keep us in this part. That's why they got this little whole thing like, oh, you know, just the North Pole. That's the South Pole. You can't go that far. No, you can't travel that all the way across the ocean out there because ain't nothing else out there that you're going to come right back around. Nah, we don't got no plane flights going out there. Man, listen. This is all different worlds that's on this whole earth, but they ain't never going to tell you that, though. They do want to keep you in this world. I'm getting a little too frightening, ain't I? But anyway, if you want to get this map from me, man, I'll let you get a copy of it, okay? But you got to pay me a small fee. Why? Because I'm the one that got to take my time out of my day and send it to you, okay? I'll give it to you so you can sit and have it on your wall posted up too and always be looking at it and studying it. Because I've been studying it for a minute now, and it's very interesting, man, once you get on to this, go down a rabbit hole of all these different worlds that's in this world that they don't tell us about. But anyway, if you want it, send me an email. Again, it ain't free, y'all, so don't be trying to be like, Trent, give me that map, give me that map. If you doing it for God, you should do it for free. No, I'm not a preacher. Sorry, okay? I'm a motivational talk speaker, inspirationalist, enthusiast, okay? If you want this map, send me an email, say, big bro, I want that map, and I'm gonna send you an automated message back. You just pay me, and I'll just send it to you by Gmail, so you can print it out. So with that being said, man, that's all I got to say, man. It's your big brother Trent. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you comment below. Peace.